Hello, today's parable is the parable of the cost of discipleship, or the parable of counting the cost. This comes right after the parable of the grand banquet that I talked about in last video. Still Luke chapter 14, verses 25, really verses 28 through 33. The context of this is large crowds are following Jesus, and he turns around to them and says, if anyone comes to me and does not hate your father, mother, wife, children, brother, sister, yet even their own life, such a person cannot be my disciple. Whoever does not carry their cross and follow me cannot be my disciple. Talking about the first part, just to clear up a point of confusion, he's not saying you should hate people, because that's obviously contradictory to what he's told us before. He's saying in comparison to me, you're essentially hating everyone else. You're not hating them, of course, but in comparison, you have your love for me is so much greater than your love for anyone else. That's the point there. But starting with the parable, cost of being a disciple. He's saying, suppose one of you wants to do two things. Wants to build a tower or wants to go to war with someone else. You have to first estimate the cost. Do you have enough money to complete that tower? Do you have enough people to go against that king? And if you do not, then don't engage in those things in the first place, because if you do, people are going to see that you're not going to be able to accomplish what you started out on, and that's either humiliating or whatnot. Regardless, that's not the point of the thing, the point of the parable. Verse 33, it says, "In the same way, those of you who do not give up everything you have cannot be my disciples." So he's saying, consider the cost of these different scenarios. Do you have enough money for that tower? Do you have enough men to go to war with this other person? You're considering the cost in both of these scenarios, and regarding what I just said, and what I said at the very beginning of the video, you have to consider the cost of being a disciple, because it's going to cost a lot. The cost of discipleship is very high. It might even require your very own life. If it doesn't, you're going to have to give up a lot of different relationships, because people are going to reject you now. You have to pick up your cross and follow Jesus. There's a lot of things that discipleship requires, and for those of you who are Christians, you know that this is true. You know there's a lot of cost of being a disciple, but the rewards, the myriad rewards, are infinitely outweigh those costs of being a disciple of Jesus Christ. Hallelujah.